he doesn't want to play, connecting with me via spirit rods. Energy-wise, he's still alive, and that's where he wants to remain. Like, there's a really striking image of him on a black stallion, holding a slice of pizza, as mad as that might sound. So this is to Lemmy. Live fast and live the best life you can. I think that's all any of us can do. Hi, my name's Brocarde. I'm really excited to be here on the holy ground today. I've been invited here by Wacken to conduct a very, very special ritual in memory of Lemmy. Now, as we all know, Wacken was a very, very important place for Lemmy, and some of his possessions are on display here, and I'm going to try and channel his spirit and see if he is still in the grounds of Wacken, and see if he still wants to connect with me today.
Perfect. Question 1. When did you first sense your paranormal powers?
It was really, really strange because my whole life I didn't think about ghosts. I didn't really acknowledge ghosts existed. We all hear horror stories when we're children. We all sort of have ghost stories when we go to bed. And sometimes when you're younger, you think you see a dark shadow, or you think you see something that's a little bit creepy, but you don't categorically know that that is a ghost, that is a spirit, that is someone who has passed away trying to contact me. So I was just kind of going about my normal life, recording an album, living life normally. And one evening I had a really intense paranormal encounter which completely changed the way I see life. And from that moment on, I've been able to see spirits, connect with spirits, and this whole world of supernatural and paranormal activity has kind of opened up. And I feel even myself, I'm on a little bit of a journey with it because I'm trying to make sense of it all. I'm trying to enhance these powers that I have. I'm trying to be as natural with it as possible when connecting and not force spirits to come forward. So I'm on a little bit of a journey, I feel, at the moment.
Thank you. Question 2. Are you afraid of evil spirits?
There's been times over the last few years where I've been very, very scared of the paranormal activity that I've received because I felt that it's out of my control. I felt that I couldn't control those ghosts. I felt that there was a force bigger than me, and it was something that I didn't have a say in, almost like an entity would pass into my life and do things like disturb my surroundings, make me feel scared, do strange things to my body, and I felt that I didn't have control over it. I feel like now, a few years later, I'm at the stage in my journey where I understand it a little bit more, and the more I accept it, the less scared I become. So I feel like I've learned to control it and be a little bit more calm and not run out of the room screaming, or not run down the road, or not leave somewhere because it's haunted. So I feel like now I'm slowly getting there and learning to accept it. So I think I'm okay now.
Perfect. And the last one, is it true you are married to a ghost?
I did get married to a ghost. I then got divorced from a ghost, which is a whole thing in itself. I had quite a strong paranormal encounter, which it's a difficult thing to explain to people who haven't had an encounter with a ghost or haven't sensed activity from a ghost. But if you can imagine, you can, in the same way that every human has an energy, so people have an energy that's attached to them. And when you die, sometimes that energy doesn't die with you. So that's the way I look at ghosts and I look at spirits. And in the same way that you can be affected by a human's energy, like if someone's in a terrible mood, it will sometimes trickle over to you as a person. I feel that you can also connect with a spirit's energy and build a sort of relationship where you become fond of them and you can connect with them and you can talk to them and you can communicate with them. So yes, I did get married to a ghost, which probably wasn't the best life choice in the world, but I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I'm on this crazy wild journey, and it's starting to make more and more sense to me each day. And I feel like being married to a ghost wasn't a sort of permanent life plan. I've kind of divorced him and tried to kind of keep that relation. Sometimes I still see him, but it's not in the intrusive way that he's in my life every day. Like, I don't have him here right now, for example. Like, it's a different kind of relationship now. So now I am not married to a ghost, but I still have the ability to communicate with them. I've been invited here by Wacken to conduct a special seance ritual in memory of Lemmy. And the first part, in my opinion, in any ritual, is to sage any energy that may be existing in this room, because this room has been open to members of the public all day. People have been enjoying the surrounding areas, and I'm trying to light my sage. Okay, so as I was saying, the most important part in any ritual is to sage the space in which you are conducting the ritual. And as I said, there's been hundreds of people through this room and in this area today, so tons of different energy, different kinds of energy, people enjoying themselves, people paying their own respects to Lemmy, people paying tribute, people just having fun. So I feel like it's important to sage the space. And another quite important part of a ritual, whether it's a seance or magic, is to create a circle. And because I don't have a circle of people, I'm going to create the circle using roses. We'll go all the way around. So, as I was talking about earlier, over the last couple of years, I've developed this ability to connect with people in their afterlife. And sometimes that's when I'm not looking for it. Often I'll walk into a room, I can sometimes see a person and see a spiritual attachment to them behind them. It's taken various different forms over the last couple of years, and I feel like when doing something like this, when doing a seance for someone as respected as Lemmy, I thought quite hard about it, because I didn't want that to be perceived in the wrong way, or perceived in a way that that's poor taste. And it's difficult when you're purposely trying to connect with someone who's so well loved and such a public figure. And yeah, I feel like it needed to be treated quite respectfully and quite cautiously. But quite a weird thing, as soon as I kind of entered the area, I did have quite a strong sense of Lemmy as a whole. Like, I can kind of, when I kind of shut my eyes and try and channel that energy, and this is going to sound crazy, I can see his image sitting on a black stallion within the confines of Wacken. And I feel like that's quite a nice little nod that he is still here in some capacity. Like, some people believe that spirits remain where they die. Some people believe that spirits travel around the world. I sometimes believe that spirits can return to a place where they were happy. And obviously Germany was a very prolific place for Lemmy, and obviously he performed his last show in Germany, and I feel like that is why there could be his presence still here at Wacken. So I feel like it's only important to open up the bottle of Jack Daniels and have a toast to Lemmy. So this is to Lemmy. Ordinarily, I would throw this across the room as part of a ritual, but I'm not going to do that because I think a lot of people will be very annoyed at me. So we will just take a sip in memory of Lemmy. And I feel like it might be interesting to see if we can kind of push what I was feeling and see if we can get Lemmy to come through with the spirit rods. So I will start this by, I don't want to hit anything, there's quite a lot of things around me. I will start by shaking these off. Like often when I sense spiritual activity, it's through my emotions, things I sense, things I see, things I feel. But when you're doing things like that, sometimes I feel like other people want to see some sort of evidence of spiritual activity, be it be like with a cat ball, be it be with something lighting up, be it be with spirit rods. So I've started using these. I'm going to start by asking a few questions. Could you please show me what yes means? Ah. Okay, they're being a bit stubborn today. Sometimes these, I'll shake them off. Could you show me what yes means? There is a message, but it's not gonna be how we want it. I feel like when Lemmy passed away, his whole goal in life was not to die. And that's why he lived the life that he did, because I feel like the message is that from him that he's not dead, and I kind of feel like energy-wise energy-wise, he's still alive, and that's where he wants to remain. Like, there's a really striking image of him on a black stallion holding a slice of pizza, as mad as that might sound. And I think the message is that he's obviously alive in a very big way here at Wacken, and that's how he wants it to stay. I don't feel like he wants to play by the rules of this. Like, he doesn't want to play connecting with me via spirit rods. He just wants to be remembered in a very big way. I'm sensing the emotion of that. I'm sensing the vision of that. And I feel like that's a nice thing to hold on to. I feel like that's what Wacken's trying to do. They're trying to keep his memory alive, and I think rock stars want to remain alive after they die. And he's obviously here in some form, watching over the festival, and I think that's a beautiful feeling for everyone involved. And long may he stay here within the confines of Wacken, and long may we all celebrate him. I can hear his footsteps. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like, yeah, it's interesting.
I'm very excited. I'm sitting here next to Brocarde, who has come all the way here to Wacken, to the Landgasthof, to possibly contact Lemmy and see what's going on. Is he around? So Brocarde, lovely to have you here at the Landgasthof.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you have a ritual to go with this. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I feel like the basis of any ritual, whether you're conducting a seance or whether you're conducting witchcraft, you would have items that would give you power. Now, when I started the ritual, I put a circle of flowers. Now, normally in a ritual or in a seance, you would connect a circle. You would join hands with other members of your crew or your coven, and you would create a circle. And because it's just me doing this today, I wanted to create a circle with the flowers. And everything in magic and witchcraft and spirituality goes back to nature. So you will see a lot of use of flowers, herbs, medicines, all of that kind of thing. So we kind of put them on the floor to connect with the earth. And everything on the table has a very specific meaning. Like I saged the room, and this is special dragon's blood sage, which is, it's different from normal sage. It would be more empowering, it would be more sensual, it would be more, for this kind of thing, I find it a lot more appropriate because it's a communication tool. It opens up that door in a different way. And obviously we have a photo of Lemmy. This is when he performed here at Wacken. And Jack Daniels, because you surround yourself in things. If you have personal items, like we have personal items of Lemmy's behind, we have his clothing bag. So you surround yourself in items that are connected to that person and try and attract them in. That's the kind of basis of it. Sometimes I don't need any of that. Sometimes I will get a sense of something or someone when I'm not expecting it. But sometimes I feel like sometimes as well, for symbolic purposes, all of these things help. They help connect you to that person. Like even being here in this area in front of all of his things, you sense him in a way. So everything helps, especially when you're trying to connect with that person.
And how did you have the idea? Did you have the feeling that he was calling you, or what was your sort of motivation?
It was really, really bizarre. Like Wacken invited me here, and the first thing they said was, would you be interested in doing a seance and connecting with Lemmy? And I was like, this is so weird, because why did I have the idea that I wanted to go to Wacken? What was it about that site that was calling me? Because I feel like over the last few months, I've been to a lot of bizarre locations. Like I went to Romania, I joined a coven, and I learned witchcraft. And I was like, well, everything happens for a reason. Nothing in life happens for no reason. Everything has a purpose, everything has a place. So I was like, that's very bizarre. And I was like, well, I have to do that because that is aligned with something that's going on in my subconscious. Like, is the purpose of me being here to bring that very small message from Lemmy over, which isn't groundbreaking. I mean, he's not, saying anything revolutionary, but that was very much the essence of Lemmy. Keep it powerful, keep it short. And his whole kind of life, he lived a fast life. And, that kind of wanting to remain alive in death, that energy is obviously still here within the walls at Wacken. So yeah, it's an interesting one, and I feel like I'm here purposefully.
I love the way when you were doing the ritual, you were sort of saying he doesn't want to play by the books, because that's typical Lemmy in a sense, isn't it? Because
sometimes, normally what would happen, I'll go into haunted locations, I'll go into haunted houses, and these spirit rods, actually, a lady from Nevada State Penitentiary gave these to me, and it was the first time I used them, and that was a few months ago. And every time I've used them, these have aligned with the visions that I see of the spirit. And every time I've asked the questions, the rods have confirmed. And it was really, really interesting today. There was a long period of time when those rods didn't even want to show me what yes or no was. It was literally like this. And I don't cheat anything. Like, I don't make things move. I don't, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, Lemmy said yes, because that didn't happen. But there was a reason that he didn't want to play by the book. He didn't want to play that. He wanted to send me the vision of him sitting on a stallion and send the message that he wants to remain alive in death, which... Eating a pizza, which is completely random. And I don't know, maybe that's his favorite food. I have to Google that one after. But yeah, a slice of pizza, which was very bizarre, but that's what it is, I
had the feeling when I was watching you that you also seemed sort of melancholy or sad.
It affected me, like seeing his... It felt like I was almost gonna cry. I almost had to stop myself. And there was a moment when I was holding those rods and I was kind of connecting with the vision that I could see. And I almost forgot that there was a group of people filming me. And I kind of went into, not a trance, but I went somewhere else and connected with that vision only, and it did feel a little teary. And I feel like sometimes it gets a little heavy like that, you know, when you can sense that energy. And you know, I guess you've got a group of people wanting to see the table fly off, or wanting to see, you know, all the candles fall across the floor, or something visually impacting. And sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it's just an extreme emotion. Like with spirits, I pick up on the emotions first. Like I get how they're feeling. Like I've been into derelict prisons and I've sensed people like sobbing or screaming. Rather than, this is Bob, he was 53, he died like this. It's that kind of thing that comes through for me sometimes. So it's very interesting but bizarre.
Yeah, because I was thinking that, I mean, maybe you felt something that you didn't want to say?
I felt it was quite personal and quite intimate, and I felt there is a little bit more.
Yeah, I know.
You should sense that as well. Yeah. There's a little bit more, and again, we're dealing with someone who meant a lot to a lot of people, and it's like, yeah. You could see it on my face. I was just like,
Yeah. Not all positive always.
Yeah.
Well, it was lovely to have you here.
Yes,
very
thank you very
interesting
much.
to watch you.
Yeah, thank you.
And the message is, maybe you can put it in one compact sentence.
I feel like life is so short, and Lemmy lived an amazing, fast-paced life. He achieved so much. He indulged in all of the sinful things, but he still made that impact, and he wouldn't be who he is without all of those elements. So I feel like life is for living, and you're a long time dead, and people do want to still remain alive when they're dead. So yeah, I feel like live fast and live the best life you can. I think that's all any of us can do.
Absolutely.